Did somebody say Santiago?
Okay, people. So I'm heading out. It's like almost 7. I got a late start. It's okay. I needed the rest. But as you can see, last night I chose to rent a single slash kind of double situations, 2 twin beds. But I slept like a baby, so that was important. And now I can take my time putting my kit together today, my bed together, and eventually slapping my poncho, my Packa on my backpack in anticipation of rain, because it does always rain. And you know, I can still hear people roaming the streets drunk. This is the time of day where people from different worlds collide. And yeah, I'll remember them. They probably won't remember me. Anyways, folks, yeah, just a few more minutes before I get out the door. Gonna have the rest of this peach I'm not gonna eat it in front of you because I'm not that cruel. I should also add, it's about probably 30 kilometers I'll be hiking today. And I think 2 hours in I'll be fine, but around 2.5 hours to 2 hours, the sky may open up. I'm not totally sure if that's gonna happen, the news is looking like, or the weather report rather, so. But I have reports out there, I have feelers on the field. I have a man on the scene, my friend John is up ahead, giving me a report of what it's like en route to Bilbao from where he stayed last night. So, there's that, and then there's this. Water's been very crucial on this trip. The fountains aren't as frequent as they once were, or as they were on the Ancestors, so definitely fill yours up. I haven't bought a large bottle of water yesterday, and I didn't finish all of it, so this is now in this. Filter, couldn't hurt. Hydration system. But yeah, so 30 kilometers, so it should take me probably all day, pretty much, looking at the terrain to get from here, Gernika, to Bilbao. I wish I had more time to check out Gernika. Hopefully, I'll be able to make more time to check out Bilbao, because that's where it's at, people. I'd love to go to the Guggenheim. It's Sunday today. I don't know what the schedule is for the museum. I hope it's open. If not, I might stay a little later tomorrow just to check it out. I can't go to Bilbao and not go to the museum, so there's that. Anyways, I'll catch up with you guys on, where am I going? On the Camino. Buen Camino. Except for the poncho. You want to make sure all the jacket is inside of the cover. So that way you can just pull it out as you need it with components. And at the top is the hood. And how you know it's at the top is this. This pulls it. And this is the hood. So I'm going to keep that right under there. That's what it looks like on that side. Definitely needs a logo on the back, but other than that, yeah, it looks looking good. And that's that. That's the Packa, folks. And I am exiting Gernika, folks. Here it is. I go down there. Making sure I got my streets right here before I walk past. Look like this church survived the fire bombing, the fires of Gernika. back during the Civil War. Same with this building.
First pictures from the Basque Republic of the holy city of Gernika, scene of the most terrible air raid our modern history yet can boast. Hundreds were killed here, men, women, and children. 4,000 bombs were dropped out of a blue sky into a hell that raged unchecked for 5 murderous hours. This was a city, and these were homes like yours.
As well as the, look at that, 1927 public school building. It's tough to say, because even the building style in the 20s looks old. Now hopefully this won't be a huge hill out of town. I'm suspecting it will be, however. Pray for me. In fact, touch the screen right now and send good thoughts, people of the future. Sorry I haven't been really filming as much lately, folks. It's tough when it's great when you bump into people and you get the chance to hike and talk to fellow humans. You get a little neglectful when it comes to your pocket friends. I gotta stop calling you guys that. It's insulting. But whatever, it's me pre-coffee. What are you gonna do about it? Anyways, I do apologize though. I haven't been filming as much, but now I'm walking solo again. Buen día. Wow. Yes. So where was I? Yes, I'm walking alone today, so there'll be plenty of time and plenty of chances for me to make up for lost time, folks. How about that? Okay, the old wall stops here. New wall starts. You know, and people would have you to believe that it must be 2 cultures that built that. Graffiti here has been very confusing. Some of it. Some of it never changes. Okay, where do we go? I'll get back to you, folks. It only seems now that this town has fallen asleep. I could hear voices all night. It was like, I don't know, a third ring of hell. Easily tell where Dante got his influence from. But it is a humid morning. So much so, questioning why I put the pant legs on these pants. Sometimes you just get them out of the way. But I've noticed this summer hiking here, it's probably best to just start off a little cold rather than have to stop and take off some clothing. So what I've done, rather than take off the leggings, is unzip just the front of them, and then with my custom zippers that I put on the back of the calves, I've opened them up so there's a little airflow. I'll show you. Sorry for that. So that way the air will blow right through, thus cooling my legs. Okay, folks, it's getting to a point where I need to consult the map again, maybe? Once I see an arrow. Give me a sign. Okay, I'm gonna check my map. I don't want to go down that hill only to come back up. I love these Spanish telephone poles though. You can see they're cast out of cement, it looks like. Rather than using wood. It seems like that's always their last way to go in Spain, is using wood. I don't know for what reason, but like all the houses are made out of stone or rock or brick. And maybe the roofs, wood is utilized, or in a decorative way. But for the most part, everything is typically not wood. And I kind of like these poles, because if you're a line worker, because I think of line workers, they're easier to climb. They have like steps, they're like ladders almost. However, if you're a drunk teenager, there's that also. Not to give any of you any ideas. Oh, there's a sign. Oh, good to know. Turns out we're not in Spain nor France. So that's a fine example of someone using that as a ladder. Okay, folks, I think we're on the very much the outskirts of Gernika at this point, coming into farmland, it looks like. And soon we'll be past Gernika. There's Gernika somewhere behind us down that hill. And the Camino is very long. There we go. Back into the mysterious glen or wood. And time to take my tips off. Oh man, let's check it out first though. This is gonna be gross, isn't it? Oh yeah, we're in for some trouble today. Okay, shoe shot now. Not looking too bad. This one's faring far better than this one. But let's check back. in a couple hours. Gernika. Folks, it's starting to rain, I think. This is going to be a very, very long and probably brutal day. So, wish me luck. It's very slippery and muddy, so I don't know how often I'm going to be able to pull out my phone, but I'm going to try. Gosh darn it, I'm going to try to take you with me. Buen camino. That was walking like through the worst part of farmland, if you know what I mean. Close to the barn. A fertilizer field. Fertilizer? I don't know if that's the right way. Fertilizer field? Questioning myself. There it is, folks. Gotta push on. That was slow. That was very slow going. I'm not used to going that speed, but I had to, otherwise you can't put too much weight on these spots, on these wet rocks. Otherwise you slip. Okay, this is looking a little bit better. The road is wide. The dirt is compact. I can do this. There again, folks, off in the distance, Gernika. It's really tough to imagine that place on fire. It was such a beautiful little town. I don't know what it looked like prior, but it's beautiful now for sure, and I'm sure it was beautiful then. But just where I slept last night, it's like it was a relatively new place. I can only imagine the place that was there before it burnt down or was destroyed. And what tragedy was I sleeping above? Okay, oftentimes you'll see this on the Norte. You'll see the marker. Well, maybe not often, but I've seen it a few times. And then to the right of it, you'll see a little, what looks like an animal path. Then obviously the road or the path, the Camino on the left. But then, what this typically tells me is there's a hill coming. Obviously you can see that there's some climbing happening on this little path. But what that will often do is cut out the wind around and come out at the top of the Camino. So I'm not going to take this little path now just because everything's super wet, but remember that if it's a dry day and you see that, it's a strawberry shortcut. Greetings, folks. This is beautiful where I'm at. I don't know if you can see it. Eucalyptus trees. And a whole lot of mud. Yeah, I think that was a Zeppelin tune. It's just me, eucalyptus, and crows. Now, I'd like to say this place reeks of eucalyptus. I know when I was reading about the Camino years back and people would mention it, I would get that impression at the very least that I was going to be walking through like Candy Mountain or something, or the halls of medicine. But it's not. It's not like super, you have to get up close and maybe the pods, stick them up your nose to really smell that mentholated eucalyptus nasal clearing goodness. I would imagine though in the summer, where it is, a warm, hot day in a storm might be enough to release the essential oils from the leaves, and that might be carried by the wind. So a hot storm, if that's even a thing around here, that might be a good day if you have some hay fever or cold. Other than that, don't expect to my nose, and everyone's nose is different, and every nose is sacred. Another thing I might add is if you are doing a video, don't cover up the lens, but if you are doing a summer Camino, let's try this again. Sorry, angles are important. If you are doing a summer Camino, try not to bring stuff that contains humectants, like certain mints and candies. If they're in a tin, are gonna get a little soggy and probably break down. Transfer them to something plastic, like a plastic tube. Same goes for soap. People often call that clear, almost translucent soap glycerin soap, which is it's a misnomer, because glycerin isn't all real soap. In fact, it's a byproduct of of saponification, the soap making process. But it's a natural humectant. If you have ever had that soap and kept it in a soap dish, you might notice condensation on it sometimes. What that's doing is pulling water from the atmosphere or the air around it into it or onto it. So some of these soap candies or whatnot, candies and tablets that you get, use some type of glycerin or humectant as a binder, I'm guessing. This is total speculation on my part, however, but it's pulling in the moisture. So might be the name of this chapter, pulling in the moisture. So keep that in mind. I guess is what I'm saying is if you have stuff like that, and I guess the only way to find out is to really leave it near an open window back home on a rainy day to see if it gets a little mushy and sticky. And not because it's getting wet directly, but because it's pulling the moisture out of the air. And if it is that, then yeah, pack it accordingly. Something as you would your clothes in a dry bag, do the same with these things in plastic tubes. And honestly, it's going to be lighter than carrying a tin of Altoids or whatever, because metal often weighs more than plastic. And I don't know why I'm having to explain that to you. We're all adults here. Eucalyptus. Anyways, folks, about to approach a muddy incline. And I'm sure that that little path is going to connect up here somewhere. It might have already, and I just totally spaced out about it. Anyways, I'll get back to you soon. Ciao. Ah, here they are. This is what I've been walking through. Well, the producers of what I've been walking through. Hey cows, what's shaking, ladies? Buenos dias. Vacacitas. Hello. Nice earrings. I like your earrings too. You guys are so big, and it wouldn't take much to put one of your... Well, I'm not gonna give you any ideas. And you're the gatekeeper. Must I pay you? I don't even know what cows eat, aside from grass. Just your grazers. Bye, cow. Bye. Just don't eat me, because cows eat people. Now, could not believe the golf course that was in. Was it Zarutz? Where it opens up, your first introduction. I mean, it just had such a theme park vibe. It could have had a pilgrim themed theme park too, as far as I know.
A Buen Camino.
It would have fit right in. But it was a beautiful beach, and the beach was well maintained. It had all types of facilities. It was amazing, in fact. It's what a lot of like beaches on the East Coast in the United States used to look like before hurricanes wiped them out. Over the years, over the last probably close to 100 years. But they started off looking like that. Oh God. So I just talked to my camera for like 5 minutes thinking I was talking to you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to do a redo. Sadly, you won't be able to see what I was showing you and describing. At the end of that muddy slide though that I came down, or was going to go down, which I did in fact go down, it's like thick, dense mud. It's like a slick, or a slurry. It's a slurry, we'll say. And it gets to points towards the end where there's just pools of water in the center, and you have to walk like you're walking, I don't know, like you're standing on top of a tub, like straddling a tub down that, because, you know, that's a perfect reference point. We all straddle the tub once in our life, right? right? Anyways, so you had to walk like that down the trail, and then at the very end, it's this huge puddle where there is no curb that you can straddle. Okay, I need to come up with a better example of what the hell I'm talking about. But so you're gonna walk through that water unless you have sticks. You need trekking poles. If you have them, you can lean into the puddle, make sure they're tight though, and walk the rim of the puddle, which does have like organic matter around it. It has some plant life and whatnot that's been crushed. Clearly people are doing this too, but you can kind of walk around it. You might get a little bit wet, but as long as you're wearing waterproof socks or waterproof shoes, that's okay. But I didn't get any wet. I didn't get in the water at all, but I wouldn't have been able to do that maneuver without my sticks. So if you have any hesitancy to using sticks or prejudice against sticks, you know, all these weird hang-ups, hang them up, folks, because in the rainy seasons or seasons of rain, they will come in handy and they will save you a lot. And maybe you don't mind wet feet, it doesn't sound that bad, or you've done it before and had zero problems. Wet feet can give you problems, and you're gonna have a problem with that when it does happen. So trekking poles, even if you have to wear them on your back until you need them, it's like, think of them as a rain jacket if you have such a problem. Use them when you need them. They're just another tool in your kit. And get some lightweight ones if it's such a problem. But trust me, once you start using them, there's really no going back. If you're using them correctly, you know, little asterisk there. Because user error is huge when it comes to sticks. I hear people talking in the forums, oh, they're all the same, just buy them when you get that. They're not. If you really truly use trekking poles and have tested out trekking poles, you know they're not all created equal. The market would have made that very clear many years back if they were all created equal. But just through usage alone, you realize real fast, some are totally worth the extra. And you know, towards the end of this trip, or maybe the next time I have a single, I will do a little show and tell on what's actually in my bag. Since I pretty much, when I have a single, that's another thing about single, aside from sanity, is you just want to walk into this room, walk into any room, dump out your bag, take off all your clothes, lie in all your stuff naked, swim through it almost, and cry as you're doing that. And it's just such a release. It's cathartic even. Or you could lie on your back, think you're doing the back float and have another good cry. You could do both of those things combined, and then find the shower, turn it on, and crumble into a ball in the corner there, hold yourself, and have another good cry. Let the water wash over you. That's what I look for on my days off from the albergues. It's not days off from hiking, but just days off from albergue life, which can drive you mad.
You're killing me!
So I hope I redeemed myself by re-recording that. I had to check twice to make sure that I was still recording. But I swear the other section was awesome, it was epic, there was a battle. Sadly, it's all lost. Good battle too. Rabid. Well, I'm not even gonna get into it, but I'll talk to you very soon. I just need to get up this hill and, you know, stuff. This is why I love Spain. This looks like something out of a nursery rhyme, and it's too wet. If it was drier, I would totally go in there and urinate. No, I would totally go in there though and check it out, give you a little tour. And when I was done, and after I turned off the camera, you go back on the road. Don't pee in historical places, folks, unless there's, I don't know, proper facilities, and it's allowed. Oh, this is great. Even if it, and knock on something, I step into the gutter. Touch wood. Because even if it rained now, this would be so much better than the mud, but I'm certain, because you know what's gonna happen. And I don't mind it, but you know, there's gonna be more muddy trails coming when I get behind this next town. And of course, going down into Bilbao, you know it's gonna be rocky. See what I did there? Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Uh-oh, hold on. Hola. ¿Tiene hambre? old Billy. Hey Billy, go, 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 go. Maybe I'll bring like, some Spanish dandelion seeds home, and when someone tries to pick them, be like, no, those are imported. Those are exotic Spanish dandy. Oh, this is cool. You see how far away it is, but how high up it is as well. Especially when compared to that road down below. And then you realize you're level with that house. So there's gonna be a lot of downhill, folks. I hope it stays on this road. Ideally what would be great, and I'm asking a lot here. This is a big ask. But if there was a rainy day route, and I know you people are gonna be saying, I know you people are gonna be saying that, no, there already is. There's alternative routes, right? But what I'm saying is the rainy day routes would be tarred like this. Or cement or whatever, but I mean, it just wouldn't be dirt. So you can take the rainy day route or the rocky road, which I think it would make the road a little more accessible for everybody and be better for bikers too. It could be the biker rainy day road, and the bikers have to deal with us on the rainy day road on rainy days. Yeah. Or you could just keep it the way it is, and we could have a proper pilgrimage. Learn to suffer, learn some humility. How dare I grease the wheels of the trekking poles. Oh, another tip, folks, is to check your trekking poles every day to make sure they're still, if you leave them extended, make sure there's still tension in the throw-off switch, knob, screw, throw-off screw, whatever. The things that are holding the telescopic part out, unless it's clips or clicks or even clacks, any of the C's. Just because I can't get over that first day. I almost bit it a couple times because those new poles, they were just, you need to tweak them. Again, don't assume all trike poles are the same. Some of them need to be a little babied, and some of them are just great out of the box. This car, I think, is, it might have been, it might be a Volkswagen. I don't know. It's tough with these European cars when they're in such, well, you guys would know. You can tell me below what that car is that was once on fire and left on the side of the road. That's not rain, folks. It's just running water. This is a lot like, obviously, like Peru as well. This reminds me of hiking down Machu Picchu. And it's funny. It's like, it's so touristy now. And it probably has been for years. But having only been there once, as soon as you get down the mountain, what's waiting for you? The gift shop. Actually, it's more of a little museum than a gift shop. Actually, I don't even know if the museum had a gift shop, so good on them. But it just, it was just funny, after all that, get down there and exit to do what looked like a gift shop. It may not have been. So, oh, here we go. This is it. This is like my idea in practice, kind of, visually anyways. Imagine that to be dirt and mud and yucky. And over here, this is solid. Happy rain day tarmac. Observatory up ahead. Bald man reading a book. What is it? Yep, gonna need sticks for this. I think I'm gonna try to go around this. I'm gonna go around this. I don't know why this guy is, well, maybe he can read that sign, but he's been there idling for a bit. Okay, so I need to go over this. Yeah, see, they're trying to get you to stay off the highway. Okay, that turned out pretty good. And folks, if you see the water flooding the tunnel there, you can go around by the road. There's even arrows on the road too. So, and I see an arrow right there. So it must have come out on this side. Yeah, it's not worth it. I can understand what they're trying to do, keeping people off the highway. But you gotta do a better job. Or, well, again, it is a pilgrimage. Here's the arrow. Here's the highway. Yeah, I guess I'm on it. Just a random dumpster there, in case you went to a drive-by. Those pilgrims did fall. I saw other pilgrims going down there and I was waving towards them to come my way, but they just kept going. Now I see they're behind me. Great, they're following me. Hope you're following me. That said, if you're not, you should be. Please hit that subscribe button now. Like, comment, come on. You've gone through so many videos at this point and I haven't asked once, at least not audibly. Okay, folks. It's looking a little on instinct, so I'm gonna put you away, but we'll be back shortly, I'm sure. I may have cut myself off in the middle of talking before. This is gonna be a little choppy, folks. But I went on this tangent about the pros and cons of concrete, rubber tips, different aspects. It's fine. It's probably best you never heard that. Unless it did record and I somehow turned it off, and we're having trouble here today, folks. Pappy needs breakfast. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. yeah, sometimes it's just, again, it's just good to throw your all into the hill, and never, ever, if you can help it, stop for a rest on the hill. I mean, if you're, obviously you need to sit down and breathe, catch your breath. Don't listen to my advice there, but if you're young, strong, hell, if you're old and strong, if you're just strong and you know you can do it, just don't stop if you don't have to, because it's really, really, really tough to get going again once you lose that momentum. Oh, and this is worth adding too. When preparing for the Camino, make sure you get a wax-based deodorant if you're using deodorant at all, and I hope you are, especially if you're using the albergue system. But use a wax-based deodorant, because in a bind, that can also function as a body butter, and vice versa. Some body butters that have other ingredients besides wax and oils in them, that have powders, maybe talc or cornstarch, can also be used as a deodorant in a pinch. So, you know, we always want to get products and gear that we can get more than one usage out of. And that's one when it comes to deodorant. You may have a favorite deodorant you use back home, but trust me, get an artisan-made one or just a wax-based one for the trip. Oh, I think I'm going up a slight incline now. Oh, this is gonna be... Okay, take my tips off. Voila. Oh, isn't this idyllic? Okay, I gotta pause here because this is a photo opportunity. Okay, here we are, folks. Again, on the side of the highway, but it's really, I mean, if you start off early enough in the day, it's still tranquil. And there's things to see on the highway. There's things that will fascinate you. I've picked up this habit the last few Caminos of, it wasn't even clear to me that I had this until I got back home the second time. But, you know, there's I don't know what that is. Don't know if I want to touch it or not. I should probably put it in my trash pocket, though. I don't know what that is. Anyways, so looking for hand sanitizer. There's a lot going on here. But I discovered this fascination with well, don't know what that is. With these guardrails. I must have just been zoning out on guardrails for many, many miles in the past Caminos, that I started to, like, you know, critique them in my mind, like what makes a good guardrail, what doesn't. And so much so, and again, nothing I noticed, but I do remember doing this. Like, what's the structural integrity of this guardrail and what makes it so, you know, stuff like that in my mind. But yeah, it wasn't until I moved back to Massachusetts after a Camino and started doing my daily hikes out instead of in the desert on these mountains that have guardrails, these like national parks, these small parks, mountains that are protected. And they've been redoing the rails this past spring on two that I go to. And so I've watched the process, and they're using different materials too. And so I'm like, oh, what's going on with the materials? Why is there a difference? Why is one rusted at one point and not the other? What are they painting this with? What are they treating it with? How is this, like, you know, should it extend past I don't know. I had just all these questions, and every day it would come to me as I'm hiking past these back home training for this. And it didn't occur to me until now, because I was doing it here now. I started checking out the guardrails. I was like, And the ones back home are really nice. There's some that are like, they're replacing these ancient cable fencing things that were probably like stuck in the ground in 1910 that definitely needed to be, you know, upgraded for a few years now. And they finally did it, and they went with this natural wood at one place and this other natural wood, like log, complete. Like the entire fence is wood, where the other one's like part metal, part wood, whatever. I'll show you a picture here. This is what I'm talking about. See that? And that. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I started just like checking them out. Like, I don't know. I was pointing out doing this on a few hikes I've done with other people. And so yeah, just caught myself doing it here again. So it's interesting the things that I don't even know what makes them interesting, but it's these you know, again, I can't slow down the deep thoughts, people. They just flow out of me. I open my mouth, I open my eyes, and there you go. You thought I was gonna rhyme that day. Anyways, gotta go. You know, as pilgrims doing the Camino Frances and other Caminos, we whine a lot about the lack of arrows. At least I'm guilty of that. I don't know about you. Maybe you're good at that. But the poor people doing the Camino in reverse have to rely on those blue arrows. And talk about far and few. I see them very randomly. The color's not even always the same tone of blue or anything like that. These arrows, like, you know what you're looking at. Man, you couldn't hike this if this was in New England. This would be covered in mosquitoes. But here, I haven't had, now again, knock on wood, I haven't had one experience with a mosquito. Actually, no, that's not true. My first Camino I did, but only on one day in this one wood, with like this woodland place, and it wasn't even damp. But this would be like a mosquito breeding ground and tick zone in Massachusetts, at least in my parts. But this is, ooh, these are prickers. Okay, folks, I'm gonna have to put the phone away. I'm getting pulled at by these man-eating things. Okay, folks, so that little strawberry shortcut I took through nettles and prickers started getting a little bit thinner and thicker at the same time. So I realized I need to look at my app, and I was off the Camino. There was a sign pointing me down that little rabbit hole, though, so I blame that. I don't know. In better weather, that might have maybe a route. But the fact of the matter is I had to double back and walk through all of that, like, craziness again, but uphill. So we're back on the highway. Ciao. Look at this. This is some magical fairyland. I think those are lilac trees. A lot of bikers going uphill. It's crazy pants. And look at these sexy side rails. Look at these bad boys. Okay, clearly these are of the industrial variety. Not my necessary focus when it comes to aesthetics, or what I am aesthetically looking for within the design of a guardrail. Sorry, there was a little bit of Boston coming out there. Okay, but look what this rather sterile guardrail is leading us to, and I mean, no disrespect. You can hear me. Let's see. Look at this. This also gives me Peruvian vibes. But that's a restored something or other, and it looks like that side is, though very much open, it just roofed, and it might be a garage now, functioning as a garage, but that might have once been a living room, or a mudsill, or anything. Or animals. Maybe they got the animals in there. So I think at the time that was built, it was probably more popular to keep the animals below. But back to this. Yeah, look at that. A little tiny car parked in there. Perfect. Almost feel like dropping in on that house for breakfast. Hola. Meet your American cousin. Yeah. No? Let's do this. I don't know why, but this is not Spain nor France. Just seemed historically worth filming some of this graffiti. Some I look at and feel okay about. And some just makes me go, probably should look into that. And so it wins. Okay, rolling into Lara Betsu. El Raso Sexten Contra. I don't know if that's Basque or what, so I don't know if the pronunciation is correct. However, this is where I'm rolling into. It's Sunday again, so I'm not sure if anything's going to be open, but if something's open, I'll record myself eating that something. No, not the something that's open, but something. Ciao. 7 more kilometers to Bilbao, folks. But this is some crazy stuff. Walking with this couple from New Zealand. What should be locked? Okay, that may be Bilbao, or it might be another town. Oh, very much closer to Bilbao. It's been a long day. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This guy needs fenders. Feeling a little bit of rain. Watch me get Ciao, ciao. There you are. Hey folks, well, we're still trudging through the mud. I don't know if you can see that behind me. Ooh, hey. Okay, there is the arrow pointing us on. And we are almost into, where am I going? Let's find out. So this is where I know where the you are here. Oh, okay, so we're there. And we'll be dropping down into Bilbao, but these are all the historical places to see. And here goes a family on a leisurely rainy day walk. Okay, here we go. You know, I bet this is a lovely view down into Bilbao on a sunny day, but as of right now, I'm looking right into the clouds. Yeah, they got like lookout points, kiosk things here telling you what you're looking at, but oh, actually this is something else. This looks like a discovery. Oh, it's primitive sites were discovered somewhere here. Quick, scan your TV and in the comments below let me know what that's for. See, I try to keep it, have some audience participation when I can. I've just done the dog coming up. Hey, doggy. And that might be Bilbao down there. may have just passed a restaurant too. It's unclear. They don't mark the restaurants very well. They're never really trying to sell you anything here, it seems. Or at least not trying too hard. There's a rock. I don't know. Or a kickstand. You caught me! Okay, folks, I am in Bilbao, and I just met up with some of my friends before I checked into my joint. This reminds me a lot of Pamplona. I'm so hungry though. I stopped and I finally broke down and had a pan chocolate, or a chocolate croissant. And a bag of salted chips. I just couldn't control myself. So, doing the Camino is a lot like being pregnant, I would imagine. Or maybe being pregnant and doing the Camino. Whoa, look at these candy bananas. Candy Bananas is a good band name. Wow. Classic. Okay, folks, I'm gonna put you away while I try to find my room. Got a little bit of a walk to the Guggenheim in flip-flops.
In 150 feet, take the stairs.
Beautiful. I'm actually walking barefoot through the city right now like a fool because the cold, it's sad. The cold brick feels so good though on my weary pilgrim feet. And I'm about to stroll around the Guggenheim, which is only open till 7. Granted, it's only 4. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 5. So I have 2 hours to get lost in the Guggenheim. See what I can. It's not open tomorrow. But it's neat how Google Maps puts you right on the river here. So it seems like it wants you to approach. Now, I don't know if the museum has any say in this. I would imagine it does to some extent, being who it is. That it wants you to approach the Guggenheim from this direction, from this route. I can only imagine why. Okay, it's 5 o'clock now. It's funny, these small Spanish cities, well, I don't know if Bilbao considered small, but by European standards maybe, has the charm and romantic appeal of what you would expect of the classic European cities. That is no longer there. Or even American cities like San Francisco or all the way to Paris.
Bilbao, Spain is actually the largest city in Basque country and one of the most important cities in northern Spain, with a population of approximately 350,000 in the city proper and over 1 million in the greater metropolitan area. Bilbao is classified as a medium to large city by European standards. Bilbao is also home to the world-famous Guggenheim Museum, an architectural masterpiece designed by Frank Gehry that has become a global symbol of modern art and innovation. Opened in 1997, this titanium-clad marvel sits along the banks of the Nervion River, blending seamlessly with Bilbao's industrial past and its forward-thinking future. Inside, visitors can explore an ever-changing collection of contemporary art from some of the world's most renowned artists, alongside large-scale installations that redefine the museum experience. From the monumental Puppy by Jeff Koons to Richard Serra's immersive The Matter of Time. The Guggenheim is as much a journey for the senses as it is a celebration of creativity. After a long day of hiking through stunning landscapes, followed by exploring the vibrant streets of Bilbao and immersing myself in the artistic wonders of the Guggenheim Museum, it was time to head back to the albergue. The Camino has its rhythms, and tonight's was a race against the lock on the door. Seriously, folks, if you don't get back in time, they'll lock you out. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode, Pilgrims, and until next time, buen camino.
To be continued.